Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. I am Venus. This is GoddessBoxes. Here we talk about crystals and how they can benefit our lives. And today we're going to get a crystal and see what information can come through for you and me and how this benefits our lives and how amazing crystals are. Okay, y'all. So this is my first video on this channel, so let's see. What crystal, I don't know why I want to say Christopher. That's my son's name. But what crystal can come through for us? What advice for the collective's life? What crystal can we talk about today? So today we got Ocean Jasper. This is what it looks like. It's beautiful. It looks a little bit to me like malachite, but just in an orange color. Malachite is more like a turquoise and green, but this is more like an orange and green. But Ocean Jasper, it assists in healing any suppressed emotions, bringing them to the surface for transformation. So if there's anything that we try to hide or that's being held on deep inside, suppressed emotions, it's going to bring those to the surface for transformation. However, we can so we can move forward. I know when we suppress emotions, it gets buried down deep, but it's still being carried with us in our energy. So like for instance, if we suppress the emotion of anger or fear, it's not being released. It's still in there, but it's just suppressed. So when we suppress something, I think of pressure, and pressure busts pipes. So we don't want any pressure to be in us, like raising our blood pressure. They can be a physical symptom. Yeah, so we want to bring those things up and release them. Bring them up to the surface for transformation. Transform that fear into courage. Transform that anger into happiness. Yeah. Or whatever you want to transform it into. Let's just not keep it buried down deep inside and under pressure, being suppressed. Yeah. And then when I think about the word suppressing, that's close to depress. So when we suppress stuff, we're not letting it out, it can lead to depression. Yeah, and it says allows you to open and receive. We want to be open and able to receive. We don't want to be closed off and lacking because we're not receiving the things that we actually desire or need. And it says connect us to the healing energy of the ocean. I kind of figured that was coming because Ocean Jasper, yeah. And the ocean is healing. You know, water is a cleansing agent anyway. But when we talk about healing, that's cleansing that emotional part of us. So when it's that healing energy from the ocean, it cleanses our being, not just at the outside of our skin, which it can do that too, but the healing energy is actually washing us thoroughly on the inside, washing our emotions, washing our thoughts, washing anything that's not supposed to be there, anything that's keeping us unclean. We washing those emotions. Yeah. Assist in releasing any deeply held long-term anger, rage, resentment, and grief. So yeah, when those things get attached to us, they can linger. They can sometimes want to stay planted and stick around for a while, especially with grief and resentment. Like sometimes we have to release those things with forgiveness. Let's speak about resentment. Resentment normally comes from us feeling like we've been done a certain kind of way and our emotions are retaliating. So instead of retaliating emotionally, let's forgive and lighten our load. Whether we receive an apology or closure from that situation, it's easier for us to let go of it and let it go with forgiveness, regardless of the outcome. It'll be easier on our spirit, on our self, if we release it, especially with love. and with the energy of lighting our load, and knowing that we don't want to put that pressure and suppression and depression on ourselves, because our feelings are ours alone. So when we feel grief, there's something that we hold internally. So it's even with resentment not hurting the other person, it's hurting us. So when we release those things, we're no longer held bondage with those emotions, yeah, that don't serve us. Yeah. So heal current emotional traumas, those same things, anger, rage, resentment, and grief, even though they can linger around. Ocean Jasper, I feel like the sooner you start working with it, the sooner we'll be able to release those emotions so they don't linger and become deeply held emotions. Because the longer we hold on to them, the deeper they go and the longer they want to stay. So the sooner we can deal with those emotions, like as soon as they come, let's deal with it immediately. Yeah. Helps to resolve the emotional walls of protection that prevents true healing. So when we experience things like anger, rage, resentment, and grief, those kind of things, we can build self-sufficient walls to where we try to protect ourselves from that ever happening again. But see, the thing is, when we build those walls, we build grief right behind those walls. That emotion's still there. Even though we put up a wall for it not to happen again, that wall is a representation of what we don't want to enter. So that wall is built with grief in it. So grief don't come back, you know. So it's almost like a like a like a self-sabotage almost, when we build a wall to protect us from the things that we don't want, and behind that wall is the thing that we don't want. So we're still stuck with it. So let's break down that wall, release that grief, and the protection is still there. It's just not being held on to those emotions. We're gonna free those emotions. We're gonna free ourselves from experiencing it. With forgiveness, we allow ourselves to move forward without all the heavy energy attached to it. So we don't need those walls of protection because we've already forgiven the situation. It's related to the base, sacral, and heart. And if you want, you can use angel number 31. You can look that up in your spare time. But today's crystal, gemstone crystal, I'm just gonna call them all crystals because they just so special to me. But today's crystal is Ocean Jasper. Yeah. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a good day. See you in the next video. Bye.